Hi everyone, hope you're well. Thought I might as well pick up for my weekend update where I left off. Just recorded the just a little introduction video for my MFJ 971, which you might have seen by now if I've uploaded it by now. I'm not sure yet whether it'll actually be on Oxford Shortwave Log before this appears. Yeah, so the pandemic continues. Various areas again in the UK under the sort of highest level of restrictions. Hasn't happened in Oxfordshire yet. There was a word going around that it might happen in some parts of the city of Oxford, but nothing yet. So touch wood. Here I'm basically 4 miles west of the city, and rates here are still pretty low. So I think I'd be surprised if this area ever moved up into the sort of highest level of restrictions, but in touch wood, hopefully it won't. Anyway, and I hope you're all keeping safe. A bit of a busy weekend this weekend, a bit of contesting, but I'll come on to that. But the first thing that I'm going to talk about is my my vertical coaxial dipole for 4 meters. You can see it there. Bit of an issue with it. So what happened was my friend Jeff, M0UHF, he's building a new 4 meter antenna, and I was going to say he was having issues with the build, but actually I don't think he was having issues with the build. He basically wanted to test its performance, and I sort of said, yeah, no problem. I'll get on air and then we'll have a chat and you can kind of calibrate where you are with it. So that's fine. So anyway, I switched on my radio, my 7300, plugged this into it, and he was on the phone at the time, so he started TXing, and I literally couldn't hear anything, nothing at all. And anyway, so then I tried sort of transmitting back to him, and he still couldn't hear me, and so then he reverted back to his original 4 meter antenna, and I still couldn't hear him. We still couldn't contact each other. So then it appeared that I had a problem with my antenna, and then the next day I took it down, and the coaxial cable, the plug had basically come away from the cable, and so that it was basically open circuit. So I repaired it and put it back together, and then put it back up, and then with my Mitrovna antenna analyzer, checked the SWR, and it was 5 point something. So the SWR was shot, and I kind of played around with it for a while. I couldn't get the SWR back. Well, I could get it low, but sort of down to about sort of 1 point something, but momentarily. So it's got a problem. And but the problem I've got is that the way that I've constructed that antenna, which is very much sort of taped together, it's been sat outside now since the summer, since I built it, and the weather has basically destroyed it. It's not really repairable. The actual antenna conductor is the actual dipole, which is coaxial. So it's a meter. It's a half wave, so it's a meter of coax without the shielding, and then a meter with the shielding, and then wound 7 or 8 turns wound onto a piece of 2-inch plastic pipe to create an RF choke. So that part of it is okay, but everything past beyond the RF choke, the socket is falling apart inside the plastic tube, and now the cable's falling apart. And I was going to repair it again, but I've decided actually, since I built that antenna because I saw a video on YouTube and I had all the parts and thought, well, that'd be quite interesting. And people like Jeff, they like to chat on 4 meters, well, and 2, but he was sort of saying, well, put up a 4-meter antenna, and we can sort of talk on that as well, and etc. And so it was a good idea. So when we did that, but the problem was that I built it, put it up. I think we used it probably twice since the summer, and then since then, of course, we've had the sort of good weather, and then we had a lot of windy weather and a lot of wet weather. And all I've really managed to prove is that I can build a 4-meter antenna that works no problem. But with the ravages of the weather over a period of months, it's kind of falling apart. And because I don't use it, I'm actually going to take it down. So this weekend, I'm going to take that antenna down. I'm going to save the parts, but I'm not going to put it back up again, because I basically just don't use 4 meters. And if I want to talk to any of my other friends at the club, we use 2 meters very successfully. So and that's what I suppose, in a way. I mean, although my neighbours are great, they've never complained, they don't mind at all my radio activities. It'll be one less pole for them to stare at, until, of course, I decide what I'm going to do with it next. I did have a plan to extend my end-fed wire that I originally built for Top Band. This sort of almost famous £4.50 antenna that I built. But it is possible that by making that antenna longer, I could actually make it worse. And at the moment, it matches very well on Top Band, not so well on 80. Works on both, works on 40 meters and 20. But because it's working so well at the moment, it sort of doesn't make sense to really do very much more with it. I mean, if I had an option to put it even higher, I would. But it doesn't really make sense to make any sort of like big changes to that antenna right now. Maybe when I've got a full license and I can use more power, then so be it. But you can see that's the pole supporting it at the bottom of the garden in the corner, and then it goes off towards the right hand side of the screen you're looking at, and then towards the left, which is actually up the garden. And it's been there for a few weeks now. Not much to go wrong with that, really, because it is literally just a wire supported by 1, 2, 3 poles. And so yeah, I'm going to. But I think I'm going to leave it, even though I'll now have a spare pole. It doesn't really make sense to make any more changes, I think, for now. So I'm going to take the 4-meter antenna down, save the pole, and then no doubt something will come to me at some point. Okay, so moving on, 7300. Everybody's using a 7300. Whenever I work anybody in the UK, I'd say at least every other operator is using a 7300. You think that Icom could charge more money for it? It's such a brilliant value for money. A couple of days ago, I gate crashed the Worked All Britain net. So this is the net that I'd heard of, but anything about, where basically they collect grid squares, and you basically just carry on collecting grid squares. These are based on Ordnance Survey grid squares. So I gate crashed the net, and my equivalent grid square is India Oscar 91 Hotel Sierra. So I told them where I was, and they gave me my Ordnance Survey grid square, which I was just about to tell you, but actually I probably shouldn't really broadcast that widely. And they were very, very pleased to hear from me. It just so happens I live in a grid square that many of them have not worked. In fact, none of them I think had worked my particular grid square. The guy running the net, well, they're all really nice, but was Golf 4 Hotel Papa Echo, a guy called Steve. I think he said he was in Cambridge. Lovely guy. I mean, they all were. So I worked Golf 4 Hotel Papa Echo, Golf 0 OFD, Golf 0 VIM. Well, there's a long list. Anyway, and they said basically you're welcome to join anytime. You can actually join that net for £7.50, and then they send you like a USB key or a book to participate properly. But it was really enjoyable, and what I'm finding is that I'm really enjoying working 80 meters.
200 horsepower.
You
14,000 RPM.
You.
This is the best power to weight ratio. You remember the old Moto G?
I guess he's talking about. I guess he was talking about motorbikes. But the thing about 80 is that you can sit and listen to it, monitor it, and listen to these interesting conversations going on. Well, some of them are interesting anyway. and obviously you can work these guys. And yeah, I've got to say, the guys at the Work Tour Britain Net, what a lovely bunch of people. Really, really happy for me to join in. And I did a similar thing a couple of days ago when I was running QRP with the FT817 and on 5 watts worked. Stationed down in Southampton, one in Winchester, a couple of others. So I really like 80, and I'm enjoying 80 meters at the moment. So definitely going to be doing some more of that over the weekend. I was just about to say I can't remember the last time I worked any HFDX on 40 or 20 meters, but I the last DX I worked was actually Kilo 1 India Sierra Romeo K1 ISR in North Carolina, but that was on 80 meters as well. So yeah, I think at the moment 80 meters is my band. That's my favorite band. So yeah, brilliant to just to sort of hang out on that band. And I made some friends in Wales a couple of weeks ago. You can just always find someone to talk to. Just yeah, really, really enjoyable to talk to people on 80 meters. And there's a couple of guys actually who are subscribers to Oxford Shortwave Log who have suggested a chat on 80. There was one guy, Ron, I won't give any more details, but we were meant to talk on 80 and he didn't make it, but he did email me actually, but I forgot to write back to him. So if any of you guys want to chat on 80 at any point or further afield, yeah, just let me know on Oxford Shortwave Log and I'll be happy to have a chat. So that's all good. The other thing that's happening this weekend is then something I've not done before is the CQ Worldwide DX SSB contest. And can I make this happen without everything falling over? That'll do. And that is happening this weekend. What you're looking at is the screen of one of my computers. I'm a little bit close actually, but that feels like it's a bit too far away. But anyway, that's fine. Yeah. What you're looking at here is the logging software that I've been recommended to use for this I mean, other logging software is available, of course. Bear with me while I make this happen. Right, okay, that's good enough. Yes, CQ Worldwide DX SSB contest is 24-hour HF contest. Starts at 0 hours UTC on the 24th of October. So basically at midnight tonight and runs over the entire weekend. It's the biggest HF contest of the year, I think, or it's certainly one of them. You can work on all bands except 30, 17, 12 meter and WARC. A simple exchange, 5.9 plus your CQ zone, which here is 14. And it basically just gives you the chance to work a lot of countries in a short sort of period of time. Now, Harwell Amateur Radio Society are very keen for their members to participate in this contest because any points that we collect, we can give them to the club effectively. And one of the club members produced like a PowerPoint presentation for us relative newbies. To basically just review and summarize the nature of this contest, but also to talk about a logger. Now, you're looking at the screen, my screen. I've downloaded and installed November 1 Mike Logger Plus, and this is the logger that was recommended for use well, for this contest basically. And I know a couple of members were having problems getting the software installed and what have you, but I've managed to get it working, and it includes various things actually. So you've got Telnet on here, and there's a grey. There's various elements. Grey line, so you can, if you want to do grey line DX, or at least if you can just know when a geographical area, there's a dart path or not to it, etc. And basically, you just put the station in here, sent, received, CQ zone. So, and for this contest, you don't actually give a real signal report. You basically, everyone just expects a 5.9, which feels a bit weird, but I've heard that a million times before. when I've been sort of working and monitoring, 20 and 40 meters, etc. So I'm not going to operate for 48 hours because I'm way too busy for that. But I'm going to sort of dip in and dip out, and I think I'm going to register with the low power, which is below 100 watts basically, for obvious reasons. Excuse me. And dip in and out tomorrow and Sunday, and see how many contacts I can make. This is a contest where I can actually have the potential to sort of perform quite well. The other contests that I've done on VHF and UHF, I've got the wrong antennas. They're all, those contests really, you can only really perform when you've got a horizontally polarized antenna, and I've not got any. So, but this is with my end-fed wire, which matches, from top band, down to up to 20 meters and beyond. I feel like I've got a pretty good chance to do reasonably well in that contest, in my category at least anyway. So I'm going to be doing that, and no doubt you'll hear more about that. Some of you will have seen the videos that I've been uploading. I've been doing some DXing on shortwave and medium wave with the ELAD FDM Duo, and it's kind of it's just reminded me what a brilliant radio the Duo is. I mean, it's literally incredible, really. The sensitivity, selectivity, it really is an incredible radio. Now, it's not a cheap radio, it's actually a very expensive radio, but if you want an SDR that allows you standalone operation, I think it's worth the money. You can buy, I've said this before many times, you can buy an SDR that probably performs just as well, one of the SDR Play models. But I don't know. For me, there's something about having a radio with a tuning knob and buttons to press and a screen to look at, etc. Even though the menu system on this thing, it's perfectly logical, but it's a massive pain, really. Ergonomically, it's just a pain using that compared to using, even the JRC NRD 525 or another tabletop. But I don't know, there's something about this radio. It's quite inspiring using it in standalone mode. But what's actually more useful is that you can use it in standalone mode as it is, but it's actually more useful to do that and in parallel have it connected to the computer so that you can actually see the spectrum, which is how I've been sort of DXing with it. I've been recording the audio via the Bose, but I've actually been using the spectrum to for identifying signals, etc. And it was using that method that I managed to hear Radio San Antonio from Peru via TWR Bonaire. So which it's a very good method. Now, one other thing I was going to mention was Radio Inconfidencia on 15190 kilohertz. I haven't heard them for a long time, and one of my friends on YouTube with local knowledge told me that they've been off air on that frequency for over a year, but they're now back on. So one of the things I'm definitely going to be doing this weekend is listening out for that station. Now, I've copied them down at the Woods many times. Well, not I say many times. A lot of times in sort of years gone by. Haven't heard them for a long time, and now that it's been confirmed that they're back, I'm definitely going to have a listen. Now, if you guys anyone in the UK wants to try and copy that station, the best time is sort of late afternoon into early evening. I've copied them quite strongly, I think about 8:30 in the evening in the UK during the summer. And I don't know whether they're using the same power or what the situation is, but they are definitely a station that can be heard in the UK. If you live in a very quiet area, I've copied them with a Bonnie Whip or the MA305, or with a Welbrook loop. That is a station that can be copied, and that is actually a really good catch. So definitely recommend you guys having a listen out for Radio Inconfidencia on 15190. The other thing that you can try and listen out for, that I'm going to carry on trying to listen for, is this Colombian station on 5940 kilohertz, and it was listening for that Colombia. It's a religious station. Not much is known about it, but it's that station that I was actually listening out for when I copied Radio San Antonio from Peru on the same frequency, which is much easier to copy. so it would seem. And that station has been heard. The Peruvian, the Colombian station. It definitely has been heard in Europe, but very, very weakly. And I've seen signals on my Spectrum scope on the ELAD that I'm sure are it, but I've never heard any audio. So I've not seen any modulation on my Spectrum scope. I've not heard any audio, so nothing certainly worth recording and uploading. So that's something else that I'm going to be doing. So there you go, another update from the shack. It's which week is it? Weekend number 31. Was it weekend number? I think it was weekend number 30 last week. So yeah, this is the 31st weekend since the start of lockdown in the UK. 31 weekends. 31. I think I missed 1 week near the beginning, so this is probably the 30th video that I've recorded, and they're still proving pretty popular. It's funny actually. Last week I think the video, the 30th has had 479 views, so that's the video from last week. But the one before that, the 29th, has only had 369. So I'm not sure how that works, other than I think I was late publishing it at the weekend, but nevertheless, generally these videos seem to be very well received and more popular than the other videos that I put on the channel. And so, as far as I'm concerned, that is more than a good enough reason to carry on. And the feedback is generally very positive about these update videos. So I will carry on. Anyway, everybody, keep safe. Hope you can take some time and enjoy listening to the radio this weekend. And of course, you can keep in touch with me via comments on the YouTube channel, Oxford Shortwave Log. Other than that, I'm going to wish you all good DX and have a great weekend. And most of all, keep safe, everyone. So thanks for watching. 7-3.